Howdy folks, welcome back to the shed once more. Can everybody give me a shout and tell me if I'm coming through 5x5? That'll be very helpful. Can everybody see me? Where's my glasses? They're here. First of all, let me welcome everybody in. We've got Mick. Nice to see you, Mick. We're on the beer. March West Junction, Andy. Nice to see you, mate. Signal Carrying. Hello there. Chilverton Junction. That's Tony. Hello, Tony. Dino. And Ben. Chuck Schreiber. Nice to see you. Moneybrook Junction. That's Mark. Hello, Mark. So that's Mark and Lisa. Yeah, absolutely. Afternoon to you. I don't know if everybody's hit the like button. That would be most helpful. Ray Bertelson, Attila Verga. Now, Attila's in touch with Artie. So if anybody's got anything for Artie, you can forward it to Attila Varga, and it will get to Artie. So nice to see you, and I hope you're well. Mara Curran. Hello, Mara. Nice to see you. Ben's been quite busy this week. And Anthony Dodge, the super model train outsider, who we will be meeting in a couple of weeks, God willing. Tim Maslin. Hello, Tim. Nice to see you. You might be able to hear a slight hiss in the background. That's my trusty A4, which is right behind me. Let me get out of the way. Right there. The Silver Fox. Particle Station is Charlie. Hello, Charlie. Good morning to you. And good morning to everyone on the other side of the Atlantic, the pond, as we affectionately call it. It's the Hotdog pilot. Well, it's the Hotdog astronaut, actually, today. So it's clean. That's the most important part. Sorry, didn't shave. So, Ben, this is what the silver stuff looks like when it's coming through. Trevor, good afternoon to you. Nice to see you. Great t-shirt. Oh, thanks, Dino. I spotted it online, actually, when I was just on the tippy-tappy, as you do. And I thought, oh, that looks good. And it's got a great big hot dog sitting on it, with the astronaut. And I thought, well, it sort of looks like a pilot. And it could be, NASA pilots usually have that kind of get up, but forgive me a second. Yeah, nasty cold. Yeah, sorry, Anthony. I seem to have got the pre-gets infection this time, and it's been a really rough week, full of rain and wind and all that kind of thing. Hello, Tony. That's Chilverton Junction. If I didn't say hello, hello now. Got a shave tonight, back to work tomorrow. Oh, Ben. Yeah, but it does come through and you think to yourself, oh, well, that's just age. But people can get grey in their 20s. Some people all of a sudden get a shock of grey hair going through. Who knows why, but it just happens. And it's a sign of maturity. Work. Yeah, work. I remember that. Yeah. Forgive me. Yes. So, yeah, I got the cold. It's been a miserable week. And I finally got some spare parts. There's a story behind the spare parts for the 121. But I'll come back to that. But it mostly centered on the disintegration of the prop shafts. The prop shafts look like this. They've got a little ball end with the teeth on it and a metal shaft. And the problem is that the grease they use affects the glue holding on the end parts, and they tend to fall off inside, which means your bogies lock up and create flat spots on the wheels, because you've got one side which is in motion. The other side is frozen, and it just drags it around the track, flat spotting your wheels. Ray Bertelson, hello there, Ray. And Dwight Curley. Nice to see you, Dwight. I hope the winds in the States haven't blown your house away. I gather not, because you're in the chat. Excuse me. I've had 2 weeks leave, so under the razor for me. Yeah. Anyway, Dapol have come up with this kind of contraption. Let me move that a little closer. So you've still got the metal shaft, but what they've done is enveloped the end of the shaft with, I don't know if they're 3D printed or what they are, but that's what the new shaft looks like. And you can get them from Dapol itself. Some blazing model world. Hello, Roger. And these are what the new shafts look like from Dapol for the Class 121. What they do is they've got a little, let's go to here. About there's a hole in it where they put a little bit of super glue, and that infuses inside and welds it to the metal bar. So that's what they've done. And you can get them free of charge from Dapol. But in the meantime, forgive me, because the wheels had flat spotted in one particular spot, I also bought the bogey, which are about 25 pounds, something like that, 27 pounds. But unfortunately, I ordered it over the phone, and it got lost in translation what the number of my house was, and it ended up at the local Chinese takeaway, who probably took it away. And that was about a month ago, and I rang up Dapol and said, still haven't received it. Anyway, we got to the bottom of it and figured out what happened, and he sent another one. So, forgive me. So I've managed to get the 121 back together, which I did yesterday. Yeah, so it was a bit of a struggle. The only difference being between them is that being the Arriva Trains version, it's got yellow painted steps on there, you see. The problem is the ones that you get aren't painted, so that's something I'm going to have to do, just wield the brush and paint it. So I'll be dragging that out in a while. Out on the track is the A4 and the Bullied, and I'll get them into motion right now so we can have a look at motion. Right, so here goes Mr. Bullied, if I can get it going the right way. There we go. Now this one's a nice quiet model, nice motor in it. Hornby really knew what they were doing back there, which is around about the start of the millennia. So that's in motion. Then we'll move across to 1213, which, oh, no, always look at the number on the side. 2512. Now I've got it right. And although it's a 3-cylinder beat on this one, once it starts to get fast, it really becomes syncopated. Can he say syncopated? Yeah, of course he can. I can say anything. It's my channel. Rule 1 applies. I can say anything. Within reason. So I hope everybody's well. Oh, sounds like Andy's sick. Yeah, I am. Sick in the head, Dwight. Very sick in the head. It's a head cold, a classic head cold. A little bit on the chest as well, but it is what it is. You go out into the public, you're going to pick up viruses, and there's a lot of colds around at the moment. Apologies if you missed it. I'm sure people understand, Roger. Fairly fast running chat. Yeah, apologies. It's still the same train week. Every time it stopped, I thought, now's my opportunity. And woof, down it came again. Running 2 awesome trains to start. Nice. Yeah. The A4 isn't that noisy. It's got its noisy moments, but when it's just running, it's nice and excuse me. It's of a level that you can live with it. Let's put it that way. Broncos stop for a cough. Yeah, you can always tell it when the tickles come in and you think, oh, here we go. Hi, JJ. Great Northern. Nice to see you. That would be good morning to you. Good afternoon here, and it's probably good evening in Australia and New Zealand. And Charlie, of course, is in Canada. And Mick, I'm not sure where you are at the moment, Mick. Are you in Spain, or is it Greece or somewhere like that? The sound difference between a Grizzly versus 3-cylinder wall starts is due to geometry. Yeah, it definitely is. It's got that syncopated 3 or 6 time. Yeah, it's difficult to understand. It's easier when you see it, the full thing in real life. Woodthorpe International, that's Colin. Hello, Colin. Nice to see you. Forgive me. Oh, Mick's back home now. Sorry, I'll just indulge myself with the tissue. Oh, gadzooks. Yeah, sorry about that. Just make sure I haven't got rings of snot all the way over the place. Yeah, having a cold really sucks. So I'm afraid I'm just stuck with it for the duration. Sorry about that. What's the matter with Tony? I've had to stop working on my lay at the moment. All the glues, solvents seem to have kicked off my psoriasis, so no modelling. Oh, that's nasty. So I've got time now to enjoy everybody else's layout. There's the silver lining. If you can't do one thing, there's always something else. I've been playing catch up for just over a week now, because there's been so much content on there. I've had difficulty catching up with everything. Plus, there's been the Ocean Gate Coast Guard inquiry into that kind of thing, and of course I'm interested in that. So trying to catch up with it's difficult. Yeah, it's one of those things, Maura. Do you let it stop you, or do you try and beat your way through it and just say, I'm not going to be defeated? The show's got to go on. It doesn't have to. If it gets that bad, don't you worry. I'd call a halt, all right. But while I still can, certainly I'll do it. I've got the little heater on down in the corner, so that's pumping out the heat, which allows me to wear the t-shirt. But it's a little bit warmer today, just a little. Some sicko on YouTube has models of the Titan for sale for a sum of $700. Why would you want this? So it would implode in the bath, presumably. That'd give you a cheap thrill. Boom, right down near the plug hole. We won't go there. That's more Anthony's sort of expertise with humour. He'll probably come through in a minute and say, hang on a minute, wait a minute. Tim Manson's in the shed doing a bit of scenery modelling. Going to get the Class 37 running shortly. Can't go far wrong with the tractor. So Mick's home now. That's good. I gather you're probably well oiled by now, Mick. So you'll probably be taking it easy for a couple of weeks, trying to get used to expensive booze again. I'm not an expert on anything train related. Spoken as predicated. Predicted. Who is an expert? Who is an expert? Will they stand up and say, I'm an expert, do it my way? No, nobody will say that. Looking at YouTube, there is lots of people I can say have that kind of expertise, but not one of them I think would jump up in the air and say, it's me. Know everything there is to know. Compared between me and Ivo knows about German locomotives. There's not much he doesn't know. So he has me at a disadvantage there. Ivo has me at a disadvantage with some of the British locos. There'll be a gem of interesting information comes out. I didn't know. But I'm willing to learn. That's still I'm an expert on nothing. Yeah. That's the way to look at it. We're all spare. Yeah. That's the way to look at it. We're all sponges. We absorb information. That's completely up to you. Dan's model railroading journey. Hello, Dan. An expert. How not to do things. That's a good way of looking at it. Everyone can definitely learn from me. Yeah. I think also, that word expert, yeah. I know a few experts who are, doctors of chemistry and things of that nature. I know a few engineers who really are engineers, research scientists type things. And even they are self-deprecating. So even if the real experts call themselves not amateurs, but not worthy of calling themselves experts, it gives you a decent idea of where we are in the world. Could name a few channels calling themselves experts. Yes, indeed. But we all have miserable pud knockers in our lives. Those that talk the talk but can't walk the walk, as they say. In our opinion. It's all opinion based, but there you go. If you trumpet yourself as an expert, chances are you're not. Yes, absolutely. I like to share my mistakes. Well said, Attila. Knowledgeable, yes. There are lots of people on here who have me at a disadvantage with certain things. But then occasionally a subject will come up which I feel more comfortable about expanding with. But Delft Junction, Pete, it's great to see you, mate. Welcome in. Good afternoon. I hope you're well. I hope you haven't got this nasty cold that's going around. Expert, as in used to be. A drip under pressure. That's a good one. A drip under pressure. Everybody remember that one. That's a great phrase. Anyway, welcome in, Pete. It's nice to see you. Trying to reflash a phone to, I don't know what that is, to keep it up to date as a backup phone. Right. Lineagius. Yeah. Oh, technology. They'll be spraying it in our ears and our eyes next. Right, let's get you down onto the track, and then I'm sure we can get some smoke going as well. Yeah, I haven't broken the razor. It's just, you know, it's just out of use for a minute. There we go. Down, boy. Ah, there we go. Tim Masson, have you had much experience with LED light strips, as in to light up sheds, not coaches? Tim, my expertise on that is what I've seen on YouTube. I've never actually tried it myself. Many have. Um, it's not rocket science. I suppose if you watch it closely and emulate it, it should be easy enough. But not something I've really looked into unless I wanted to do it myself. And I haven't found the need at the moment. If we all stop shaving, we can buy more trains. And the money we save on razor blades and shaving cream. And razor blades are really expensive. I know this sounds a bit strange, but it seems that the throwaway razors are really quite cheap. But if you go for Gillette or Wilkins and Sword or one of those, they're really, really expensive. So that's a bit of a shocker, really. And you're probably quite right, Attila. Yeah, there's always bits and pieces we can pick up. YouTube is a great place for finding information. If the information's good, yeah, it's great. If it's vague and it isn't filmed to the point where you're confident you could emulate it, then go on to another video if you can and see if there's something a little more wholesome that you can get hold of. Dwight, you go and grab your coffee and make sure there's a nice brandy in it for me. Oh, there you go. Nick used LED strips in the engine shed. Spring Cottage, good afternoon to you. The coaches are Hornby coaches. They were supposed to be LNER, but Hornby raided the parts bin and used LMS coaches and sprayed them up silver and put LNER on it. So they're supposed to be Silver Jubilee coaches. You had a train pack which had one of the silver A4s and 3 coaches, 2 comps and a brake end. And there's also a second pack you can get which had allegedly different numbers. So there was a train pack and an expansion pack. I hope that's clear. Right, well, let's get a bit of right, let's bring it to a stand and we'll get some smoke going. Oh, product of Germany. Zalte, I think they call it. Salte. We would call it Sooth. SEUTHE. And without doubt, they make the best and most reliable smoke fluid. Syringe, man. You don't have to overdo it. 5 milliliter or less. And we'll have a little blow down the funnel. Right, smoke on. And we should be seeing something in a minute. In the meantime, I'll bring trusty Mr. Bullitt around. Roger says all the lighting on my private layout is wired as a bus. So it's either on or off. Yeah, there's a number of ways of doing it. Right, here we go. Too much. That's about right. Here we go. Slowly, slowly. Okey-dokey. Oh, the things we have to do to get our fix, man. There we go. Right, put the syringe back in the safe place. Very useful though. Right. Right, let's find I can't remember which. I think I just found it. Right, let's start that one off. Takes a while this one for the heater element to warm up. That's it. I just found it. Function 8. It took a while. I'll get that moving. And we'll get Silver Fox moving as well. Here we go. Wrong one. There we go. Wrong. 2512. At last. At last. There you go. I hope that will suffice. Just bought a strip of LEDs to put under the shelf, which casts a shadow in one corner. Yeah, Roger. It's taken a whole different turn with vaping. But I tell you the truth, I don't think it looks very convincing. Because it's a vapor, and a vapor is heavy, and it's not really truly heated, the smoke comes out of the chimney and then immediately curls over and hits the deck. So it's not really that realistic. It's okay if you've got a bit of a breeze blowing past it, but it doesn't hang in the air like this does. So I tend to think the old smoke fluid and the heating element is the better solution. It's a lot more smelly, of course. Good morning, Robert. Nice to see you. Welcome in. An A4 with some Silver Jubilee coaches. And going the other way is Bullied Pacific 462 Blackmore Vale, number 21C123. Coming from behind you. Oh, Robert's from Long Island, New York, USA. What a wonderful place. I would like to visit the Americas again. Yes, I have been there. Went there for my honeymoon. And I loved it. I thought it was great. For all the steam enthusiasts out there, this bud's for you. Tim wanted to avoid switches, so he got a 3 volt and a 12 volt bus. Then run wires to the SD2, which has wires going to the main 12 volt bus, which connects to the controller. Well, fair enough. There's a number of ways of doing it. And as you can see, Tim has picked one of those. Ray Burtis has got regular and scented smoke, cedar or peach. That sounds good. And change it up once in a while. Yes. I think it was MTH did a Christmas smelling one, which is a strange, it almost smells like a Christmas cake would taste. Let's put it that way. And it came in a huge bottle, so we can run that stuff for years. And I believe we've got Christopher in. Good morning, afternoon, Christopher. And Sakura Denza. Hello there, nice to see you. Welcome in. We're just running a little steam action while I try and do battle with my cold virus. Give me a second. I'd say that looks pretty realistic as chuffing smoke goes. Yes, I understand. It's often difficult to match up names to channel names, and I'm constantly stumbling over myself. So I think we have to be cut a little slack because sometimes names are not obvious. Sometimes you don't like to ask. You think, should I ask? Perhaps they want to remain anonymous. Anyway, welcome in, and I hope you're having a very pleasant day. Yes, Pete, I'm definitely hoping to be rid of the cold by gets, because I don't really want to be spreading this around. Apparently, once the symptoms have gone, you're not infectious anymore. But that's liable to take a week or so. But I'll do my best. I'll take my vitamins, have a hot toddy or two, drink the cough syrup, and see what I can do, Pete. Yeah, no kissing. The reason the phone was EOL was to get more sales. As a device, there is nothing holding it back running Android 14. How about that? Do we have Sparky 107 107? Hello, Dave. Nice to see you. Here we have a Smoky A4, which is Silver Fox number 2512, with some suitable silver coaches, Silver Jubilee coaches, which was, I suppose, designed to commemorate the Silver Jubilee back in the day. I think it was George V or George VI Jubilee, but back in the 30s type of thing. And then coming the other way, this way, will be Bullied Pacific Blackmore Vale with another smoky hue with some classic Mark 1 British Rail coaches called the Atlantic Coast Express, because it's got little boards on the side telling you that. So I hope that tickles your fancy, Dave. Yeah, more of the sounds are not overpowering. I suppose if you were sitting in here all day, it could get to the point where you would like a little silence and run some DC trains perhaps, or turn the sound off. But they're not overpowering, which is good. As you can see, this one has run out of smoke and the smoke unit has turned off. That's one good thing about the ESU smoke unit. They have a fairly small reservoir, but they turn off by themselves so they don't burn out. So what I'll do, I'll trip this switch here and I'll bring out the class 121, which I promised. Right, as you can see, the shunting signals have changed. And she'll be coming off the side any second now. Yeah, Sparky, it's not everybody's cup of tea. Some like the smoke, some people have asthma, which is a shame. So I must admit, I do enjoy it, and it's been a feature ever since I was a kid. I still am a kid. Right, here we go. That one's now come off. Back into the siding. And right, let's change up the points. So we need that one and that one. Okay. Now, I can't remember which number it was. It was 1, 2, 1, 3. Here we go. It's just going through its start sequence now. Headlight on. Direction. Okay, here we go. Not a bad idea, Dwight. Put a bit of Vic Vapor Rub in there. And here comes the 1, 2, 1. It'll be on the siding right over here, and it will enter the traffic from that side. Right, I'll just stop it there and then do a reverse. Okay, here we go. Uh-oh, I forgot to turn the... Come back this way, back this way, back this way. It's gone back down the siding again. I forgot to change the point. What a wally. Come on. Oh, we've got James in the chat. Hello, James. Nice to see you. Right, at last. We're ready to go. Well, I've just thrown that into reverse. It should be coming around just about now. Yeah, you can't beat a good bubble car. I think Roger, my son Richard, just liked the what Arriva had done with the colour scheme. It was quite unusual, different shades of blue and white, and it seemed to work. There's another view of the two prop shafts which came out of the 121. These ones were problematic. These are the new ones that Daypole have produced to overcome the problem that they obviously had. What was happening that they had these universal ball ends and they were separating from the metal shaft because what happened was the grease they used was attacking the glue holding these on. So they were coming adrift and the motor was spinning, but there was no action, which so they came up with that solution. A lot more support for the ball end. I believe these are 3D printed. I think that's what Daypole said. Why so absurdly long? Well, it's all-wheel drive, Ivo, and the motor is centrally mounted into the floor, and they've got a long tunnel for two shafts. So literally, there is the motor, there is the bogie, and it really has to be that long. Very long and very thin. Yeah, Dwight, happy birthday. Um, how old? 68. You're a little bit ahead of me, Dwight, but you're still in good shape, man. Oh, we've got Canadian Locomotive Logistics. Nice to see you. Absolutely. It's great to have good friends online. And there are lots of them. And they all have something to bring to the table. Let's give a little whistle as it comes around. Here comes the A4. And let's see if I can oblige with this little beauty. The miracle of DCC. October birthday's coming along. Why don't British trains have bells? Some do. Only some do. I believe they used to have bells on tramway engines, and they also had bells on push-pull trains where you could drive from both ends. So you had a steam locomotive one end and a coach which had a facsimile of the controls for the steam engine in the other end of the coach, and I think they had bells, but it wasn't something the British ever adopted, I don't think, Sparky. James is a funny name for a sister to have. Or have I just read that wrong? I've just read it wrong, haven't I? You share a birthday with my sister, James. Oh, right. Okay, yeah, I got it. Okay, Ben. Oh, the English language. Yeah, effectively the Class 2-1 bubble car there is still running in, really. Obviously, it's had a bogie change and new prop shafts. In changing those prop shafts, you have to strip it right down, take the motor out, otherwise you never get the shafts in. Yeah, Tim, usually after every session, I pack all the locos away and they go back to the house because obviously sheds get damp and they're always more vulnerable in a shed to get broken into and stolen or vandalized. So as a general rule, I do take them out. But it's just that it was such a rainy week and I felt so under the weather that I just didn't bother this week. So I thought, okay, I'll leave them down there. The weather is still fairly mild, so there's not a huge temperature shift, but obviously it's not the best to keep them down here. Don't forget, Ben, I was born on the same day as my mother. So I was born on my mum's birthday. So we both share the 30th of November. That's how I got the name Andrew, because it's St Andrew's Day, patron saint of Scotland. Right, I'll turn the smoke off on the Silver Fox before it runs out completely. That's it. Smoke off. Right, what I'll do, I'll bring around the Class 121 and I'll treat you to see what the startup sounds like. So if I stop about here. And I turn the sound off. And this is what the startup sequence sounds like. I hope that's coming through all right. Okay, off we go. And these things actually have the gear changes on there as well. Currently in Portland, Oregon for the last 30 years. Now that is where they filmed Emperor of the North, if I'm not much mistaken. JJ. If you haven't seen it, Lee Marvin, Ernest Borgnine, Emperor of the North. Great film. Grab it, blag it, buy it, just get it. It's probably the best railroad film ever made. What scale is this? This is 00 scale. I also use HO American stock on my track, so you could call it HO 00. But obviously there are slight differences in the scale. But to my eye, they look very, very similar. And due to the differences, when I put, say, a Hudson on with this one, they're of a comparable size and height, which is great. Unfortunately, Sparky will be working Friday, Saturday next week as well, and train show on Sunday. Well, I hope you've still got some energy left, Dave, for the train show. There's nothing like blowing all the cookies on work and then finding that you can't play. But I'm sure you'll manage it. Yeah, Ben, Ernest Borgnine played a great sadistic guard in Emperor of the North. I mean, really vindictive. He'd rather kill a man than let him bum a free ride on his train. It's just a brilliant film. And a very young Keith Carradine in it as well, who plays Cigarette, who's literally the young tramp. Really entertaining but violent film. Okay, guys and girls, right, let's grab a view. Still working on the roundhouse combination over there. And let's put you back onto the PC. Okay, guys and girls, let me silence those trains for a minute. Stop. Brake squirm. Little bit. Kill that for a second. And go on to the other one. Yeah, I think Dapol did a great job with that loco. It's got Broadway imports electronics in it, the smoke unit, the sounds obviously they've imported from over here. Okay, Roger, if you're off, take care, and nice to see you up and about and still bashing away at it. Yeah, I think that's a superb model. So I'm just going to kill the DCC there at the flick of a switch. There's a bit of silence. Thanks very much for coming, Maurice. Always a pleasure to see you. And so I'm going to Sparky, if you haven't seen it yet. Bit of shameless self-advertising. Not really. No, I'm not sure my ego is that big, actually. The only time I have any kind of ego is on a Sunday, and this is pretty much it, really. This is as much as I can muster in the way of ego. I just enjoy doing it. I love a bit of model railways, and it's great to be able to share that with people. You'll know that if you watched Anthony Dodge's Friday night special, and if you watch Sparky with his huge layout with the helix and the 3 different levels, it's great. Very nice shirt. Not quite as good as mine, but it's up there. Thank you, Sparky. I'll take that as an endorsement. Very nice of you, Dave. Anyway, thanks everybody for coming in. Try not to get the stinking cold that I've obviously got, particularly Anthony and Joyce Dodge, because we want to see you over here in one piece and hopefully not coughing and hacking. But you've done all the right things, so let's keep our fingers crossed. Thanks everybody for coming in. Mick, always a pleasure. Chuck, JJ, and for everybody that's tuned in, it's been a pleasure to host. Ben's been a little more active, although obviously it's back to work for Ben. And Pete's been pushing out some videos, which is great to see. And Dino, I'll see you at Getz. And if you've got any more updates, please put them out. It's great to see everyone, and try and stay well and enjoy your week. And I will catch up with you next Sunday, all being well. Thanks very much, everybody, for coming, and I will catch you all soon. So, ciao for now.